Hey guys, and welcome back to Notorious, where we'll break down the top news and political events of the week. And today, of course, we're talking about the first Democratic debate. So I think that we can all agree that debates are much better when Donald Trump isn't involved, because we now finally got a substantive debate where we talked about the issues, we talked about people's records, and it wasn't just this back and forth of Donald Trump said this about you, do you care to respond? The trouble is that I think at this point we're not going to hear that many new things about the candidates that we don't already know on their positions, on where they stand. So this debate had five candidates. You, of course, had Hillary Clinton in the middle. She was next to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. And on the sides were Lincoln Chafee, who is the former governor, and he's also been a senator and mayor from Rhode Island, and Jim Webb, who is a former senator from Virginia. So this debate didn't really do all that much in order to improve poll numbers for the candidates. Everyone kind of remains where they previously were prior to the debate. So as little, I guess, as Americans knew about Jim Webb and Lincoln Chafee, who were on the edges of the debate stage, I think that we kind of know we know a little bit more about them and about their records, and they do certainly have things that they can bring up in their records, but it's not quite enough in order to, I think, to get voters excited about them. I mean, the presidency is so much about timing, and perhaps 2008 just wasn't her time because of then Senator Obama coming in and really having a vision that Americans were able to align with in a closer way. But 2016 might be her time, just given the fact that the other candidates who we saw on that stage, she really does seem to have a bit of a head start among them. Her main contender right now is Bernie Sanders, who describes himself as a democratic socialist. And I think that after this debate, even though many Americans do share his views on income inequality, they still may be viewing him as being too far to the left. I mean, he's almost as far on the left as Donald Trump and some of the conservatives are on the right. So the country may not be prepared to really vote for someone like that and to push somebody like that as their nominee for the party. Now, Martin O'Malley, who also stood next to Secretary Clinton, he kind of seemed like his best shot right now is probably as vice president. I think that the timing isn't quite there for him as a presidential nominee either. So his best shot is probably vice president at this point. That's why he's trying to kind of position himself somewhere between, I guess, Clinton and Sanders, so that one of them, if they become the nominee, they take notice at him and choose him as a running mate. We saw kind of a very surprising moment in the middle of the debate where, of course, we once again brought up Hillary Clinton's email saga, this never-ending tale at this point. So, of course, she's going to be appearing in front of a investigative committee sometime now in October, and she kind of seems to be, I guess, maybe one of the most nonchalant people who is under an FBI investigation. She definitely used this as an opportunity to, when she was asked questions, when she was asked questions about her emails, she really used this as an opportunity to show that this is a partisan attack against her. This is something that the Republicans are just trying to use as a political point, and they just want to attack her on this issue, that it's almost as though they don't really care about getting to the bottom of this, they just want to ruin her poll numbers. And she made that very clear during the debate. And Bernie Sanders kind of stepped in and just essentially really just saved her in the moment where he said that Americans are tired of hearing about your damn emails. And you could tell she was relieved that the attention was taken away from her, and it just kind of freed her from having to answer more questions about this topic. Of course, Bernie Sanders, he wants to use the debate time to talk about the issues that matter to him, such as income inequality, regulating Wall Street, climate change, healthcare, things like that. And he doesn't want Senator Clinton or Secretary Clinton to get more debate time where we're just talking back and forth about her emails things that essentially the FBI investigation really needs to answer for us. It's not, I think it's not going to be very helpful at this point to keep asking her about it until a full investigation is conducted, and we really know much more fact and detail about what had happened and what her role in all of this was. Bernie Sanders, he's definitely going to stay in this race as long as possible. He's not quitting anytime soon, and I think that he's almost right now going to serve as a magnet that Hillary Clinton kind of needs to pull towards in order to align her views in a way that his supporters can agree with and can kind of concede that, I guess if we can't get Bernie Sanders, that Hillary Clinton kind of aligns with us just as closely. And we definitely see that with her position, with her changing her position on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which she advocated for as Secretary of State, and she called it the gold standard. And now she says that it doesn't meet her standards. This issue was brought up a bit, that she does change her views, and it seems as though she is doing this in order to maintain political expediency, kind of wherever she can, wherever the majority of the party is, that's where she wants to align herself, and that's where she wants to go. And I think, her defense on this is that she has, as she reads more and as she evolves on topics, that's how her decisions evolve as well, and how her positions are changing on different issues. I think the trouble is that I think that is a legitimate argument, that people absolutely can change their positions as they learn more about something, as they read more, as they understand it more. But she was Secretary of State, so she definitely had a lot of information about this. And perhaps, maybe she shouldn't have taken such a strong position on it at the time if there was even a slight possibility that she might change her mind. I think that's definitely going to be the challenge for her going forward. Certainly supporters of Bernie Sanders or of any of the other Democratic candidates, even if they can't get the candidate that they want, and say Hillary Clinton ends up being the nominee of the party, most likely they're going to support her over a Republican candidate for the general election. But the challenge for her now is to really prove that she is consistent on the issues, that she really will stick to the positions that she has addressed right now, that she's not going to waver so much. Yes, she does need to to get a broader, electorate of Democratic voters, and including, those who align themselves with the other candidates and their positions, but she does need to maintain at least some form of consistency in order to get this nomination.